this opportunity. Maybe you get them in a debate or something. Let's see how all of this goes. So basically, from this point on, it's open floor, same thing. Please raise your hand. Yeah. We will pass the microphone for you. And if you specifically want to address a question to certain, except
not just for us, for the
exactly.
For Tommy, sure.
Just go ahead. So there we go.
Yeah.
You're next in line. No, we had over there. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. First of all, thanks for a great presentation. I think everybody here learned a lot. My question is mainly to Roger. You said about that, the credibility to the players, they have right to make a mistake and so on and so forth, which we probably all agree to. But to what degree we should give this credit to make a mistake to the player? Because sometimes those mistakes go over and over and over, and you talk to him, and like that chocolate in your movie or your vacuum thing example. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At some point, it may cost the team the game points. In some countries, it may cost the coach's job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to what degree we should play with this? Thank you.
This is a question, it's a good question, thank you. I get it all the time on the coaches' clinics in Sweden. Okay, it sounds good, but you will lose games on it. How do you do? And I think all of us coaches, we want to be helpers. We see ourselves, because it's a role as a coach to help the players and be there, finding what's wrong, fixing it, finding the right solution, and be in front of the players. And I think that's what's in us, because we want to fix it before it happens, if you know what I mean. We want to fix it, hey, okay, you can do mistakes, but don't lose the puck so we lose the game. It won't happen. Mistakes will happen. And I think it's more interesting to understand, why does it happen? If it happens a lot of times, it must be something in his mind, something in the... If he isn't too bad with the puck, if he's bad with the puck, bad technique, is looking down to the puck, it's a different story. You have to go back and practice more. But it's often the mentality. Often they are stressed. Often they lose their confidence. And then you have to find a way to get the confidence there in the player to the next game. So, but
okay, let me a little bit rephrase it then. You said that you have all those, little chocolates again.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have in your team some sort of kind of punishments, penalties, and system? Like, to make a positive reinforcement, but sometimes, like you said, you don't get your no tonight.
It's the 8-1. You need the 1-2. You need to burn the hand if you put it on a hot plate. So it needs to be there, especially on the hard work, especially on what the team had decided to do. You have to have the consequence too, because it's all about changing a behavior. If you don't get any consequences at all, you won't change. And you have to change you don't want the player to make mistakes. I don't want John Klingberg to make mistakes, but I talked to him about, John, it's like when you're playing poker. You're going all in with 2 and 3s all the time, like this. You won't get any money as a poker player that way. You have to make him understand that. You won't be playing the National Hockey League if you make those mistakes, like Jiri told the other day. So he has to understand by himself. So the problem is in the head of the players. It's not my problem.
Thank you very much.
Strange answer, maybe.
No, that's actually a good answer. But you can always find that little bottom point and just work with the player, really.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
You can maybe pass it over here. You were posting. Sorry about that.
For the whole panel, you've all been involved in coaching for a long time. Good or bad, what do you see from when you started coaching to now in the players? So gotten better, more resilient, less resilient. What do you see now? So for all of you, like, be a good answer. I know you've kind of set. So just
let's go in order, and maybe Tommy can start, and then we go one by one.
So I will start. Who hasn't coached for a long time? So I have to maybe think of players who I've coached now who are born pretty much in the 90s, and then maybe players who I've played with when I was in the 80s and 70s. I would say that these kids these days, they have more knowledge than we did, but they are not as good as workers as we were. And of course, normal sports skills, jumping, running, catching a ball, throwing a ball, climbing, we did that naturally. The kids these days, they don't do it anymore, so we got to understand that we have to build on that. And kids tend to practice only one sport too early these days. Early specialization is happening too fast, and we have to emphasize that they do multi-sports for a long time, because ice hockey is not an early specialization sport. That's at least what I can say from my point of view.
I think it's hard to draw everybody over the same. It's like they're all different personalities now, and they have different backgrounds. But if I should see anything, it's maybe that they are in a hurry now. They don't give us so much time, the coaches, because they are so eager for the next step, next level. The junior players coming in our program when they are 18 years old, they can come up to me and ask me, "Hey, coach, why don't I play in your team? You're not good enough." What? Am I not? You haven't scored in 5 games. Yeah, but I play with, So they are in a hurry. And we don't get the time, I think, you had before, where you have to prove that you were good to take the next step. Now, it's so many advisors. It's scouts, it's agents, it's parents, it's so many taking care of those kids. So and they are in a hurry. So and if we should develop them, we need time. We need them in the longer. And we need to put consequences and say, you better do it this way or else. If we can't say or else, they won't change behavior. That's the 1 and the 8-1. So that's what I can see. It's difference in the world of hockey now. The wheels are spinning so fast, unfortunately. I would need more time.
What I see is a huge self-confidence. The young players think sometimes that they can play everything. So power play, PK, and then it's coming reality, and then the eyes are so, wow, what's coming up? So, but they are coming really with self-confidence, big self-confidence. Je to dobře, Jiří? Jo? Sebevědomí, jo. Přijdou s velkým sebevědomím.
They're very confident, they join the team and they feel that they can play anything, that they're really up to anything, but then reality strikes and it's completely different, So back in the days, those guys used to be a bit more humble, a bit more hardworking. I mean, today they have all the service, everybody's trying to help them, so it's incredible what they get. But reality is very often, and then it's for them a huge wake-up call, and then they're trying to catch up with that.
When he's talking in Czech, players coming in with a ton of confidence, and then reality hits. And now what to do with the reality is different than they used to do before. So he sees a lot of players coming in with a ton of confidence because so much is provided for them. And but I also believe, and I would correlate with the same point, it creates entitlement. We provide environments. We try to take excuses away from people. In general, we try to take excuses away in the gym. So Trinec has the best gym. I worked with Roger this year several times, fairly closely. I've seen the environments in Frölunda. No excuses there as far as amenities. It's still about the people. When I travel around the world, my job is to compare environments. I think we're looking at, as coaching, sometimes there's negativity. Kids are different today. Well, I think the big picture perception is our grandparents thought that their kids, our parents, didn't work as hard. And our parents didn't think that we worked as hard as they did. And now we don't think that our kids are working hard enough. I think the perception goes throughout time. There are several differences by taking excuses away from players. I mentioned the pill for everything society, the drill for everything society. We take excuses away from players. We had a good discussion in Frölunda to make a clear, quick example about a player that we had draft rights to. He has a hard time with shooting and scoring. So we talk about it with Roger, and he says, well, we gotta wait till the off season to change and help him with the mechanics. Absolutely. Mechanics take a long time to change, and it's a long-term process. I look at it as a red flag. If player knows he has a problem, and he is willing to wait till the off season, till somebody shows him how to fix the problem, he's never gonna be a great player. All the great players are impatient. Somebody challenges them, somebody tells them there is something wrong with them, they try to fix it right away. So to compare the environments of before and now, I get the will and I get the drive, and it was certainly different. People used to be more self-taught than they are today. We take their excuses away by teaching them skill, teaching them skating, teaching them puck handling, teaching them everything they can. Now, my question to you, and that's, I think, the spark idea process, are we teaching them to teach themselves? The impatience, the urgency to fix the problems when somebody challenges them, you are doing this wrong. I don't want you to tell me how to fix it, because I'm going to fix it myself. And I think that's the ultimate learning that we've heard throughout the presentations over the weekend.
I can add a little bit to that, because we had the problem in Frölunda. We were talking to the players, they didn't change behavior. How should we do? I put up a limit off ice, how they should be trained in the conditioning wise to be able to practice with my team. No matter if they scored like 10 goals per game in the junior team, I wouldn't pick a guy until he had the good conditioning. So we put like 3,000 meters. We tell everybody has to run it under 11 minutes. Oh, it's impossible. I'm too heavy. We can't run during the season. So every Monday, our strength coach, he had a test with all the juniors not making the 11 minutes. So everybody who made it, they were free to go, and they were sitting along the track and cheering to the other guys. And I brought them up to practice. So it was a good way to give them something, positive reinforcement to that. And now I just think we have like 2-3 guys, and they have been running every Monday. Monday morning, 8 o'clock, 3,000 meters. No matter if they have played away, coming home 3 in the morning, run. So that's one way to show this is what's demanded to play in my league. So I think we need to be better on that, because that's leadership. It's not leadership talking to a player if it doesn't change, because the player you talked about is one of those but guys.
And you do it with adult player?
With
adult?
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
So it's a clear limit, and we have 10 points in our off ice that everybody should have, where we think we have put clear limits what they should have. Otherwise, they practice with juniors. I don't know. That works pretty good, because now they are running. It was easy, come on.
I do have a question. I'm looking for 2 tickets for today's game for the Czechs. Please. It's very hard to get in Prague this late before the game. There's one. I need one more volunteer. I've got 2. Thank you very much. I got 3. Thank you.
Then you can sell one.
That was a good question.
I'm taking this mic away when it becomes a ticket sale. Did you have a question still?
Yeah. It's good, Jiri. You can sell one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my question would be, all of you guys are working at top levels. I think there's a lot of coaches here too that are working on a lower level. And what would be your tip to encourage that, as you said, making players more, embrace the, I forget the word here now, but the creativity. And the consequences for you guys would be maybe that they're not playing. If you don't have that option, like right now I'm working in Austria where you don't have a lot of players, and you have to find some way to, the small amount of players you have to make them a lot better comparing to the other countries. What would be your tip for the coaches here that are, I know here is coaches from Great Britain and yeah, all over the world. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, do we do the same, but maybe other way?
Okay, so I'm going to come completely off left field here. Again, it's not about the drill. To me, creativity is breaking the rules. Catching the opposition off guard. All the good habits that we're trying to teach the kids, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Creativity is so hard to teach because we're teaching rules. The best creative players, I grew up in communism here in Czech Republic, the best creative players that played were some of the best ones that knew how to break all the rules. So looking at it from the other point of view, is he breaking the rules, trying to be creative, and have the vision and the patience? At the end of the day, is that going to lead to outplaying the opposition during the game, or is he creating a bad habit? Creativity, to me, takes a lot of patience and taking a little bit of a close eye, sometimes just, okay, well, that's once. So when we're teaching rules, it limits and restricts people. Ken Hitchcock told me, approaching to a player, you do whatever I want away from the puck, and I'll let you do whatever you want with the puck. Creativity, breaking the rules, catching people off guard, outsmarting the opposition, and part of it is cheating too.
Yes, I agree with you.
Me
That's
too.
fine.
Me too. It was a long question there. I didn't really. Was it a good answer?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Should I then also say that I agree totally with him? Probably the only thing I would like to say to the thing is get the player involved in his own thing. Get him to like what he does. And if he gets curious about the thing, then he probably will get some information from somewhere and get better. He has to be the one who does it, my opinion. Same thing actually as Jiri.
But I think it's close to competing and creativity. It's really close. The best offensive players, they always want to win. And they have if I should see the best players I coach in the national teams that are world-class players, they never do drills. They are competing in a practice. They are making practice to a game. And the best players I've seen, it's like you have to blow the whistle 2 times. Just before you blow the whistle the first time when you want to break the drill, the guys never make it. They have already stopped. They're like this, oh, I have to take some water. When you blow the whistle the first time, most of the guys stops. The best guys, they keep going. They are so eager to chase that puck. They are drowning in it. They're totally in it. Do you know what I mean? Those guys, I think you have them, and that's what I think we need to coach, to have them there. It's not a drill. It's a game. It's a life. Here, the puck. And the most important part is that we don't destroy that we take them out of that, because they are practicing their instinct, they're practicing, and they are breaking rules. They don't remember what we tell them. No way. I asked one of my young players, born 94, playing this a league game, and we talked about this way of entering the blue line. It's always this offensive blue line that you shouldn't lose pucks there. And we had a good presentation. I showed him some clips where what he could do. He can go around the defenseman, he can hold the puck, he can shield the puck more, he can wait for the defenseman, and then he can play. And then the next game, I thought, oh, good, he has listened. And I asked him, hey, good, do you feel that you're improving? In what? Yeah, the blue line. Oh, I don't remember that. I don't have time to think when I'm playing. Okay. Then I understand it's not that easy being a coach, because the game is so fast, and the best players, they don't think. They are just playing. And we need to get the majority of the players there. Every drill, every practice, let them play. Let them chase the puck. If they're chasing the puck, they're fine. But if we have players after a drill shooting the puck goes to the corner, they're on straight legs, going the other direction. It's not a game. They have to go after the puck. Long answer. Maybe not.
Yeah, it was a good answer. Big round of applause, please.
Thank you, guys.